All right, all you devils out there, how's it going? Happy Friday. Sam here with you. We are on the 12th of August here, and so, well, it's 1:12. I'm a little late today. I've got family in town, so had to make a few airport runs. So just getting a late start here, but let's just dive right into it. So I thought what we'd do here is today, let's start with what is a more bearish interpretation of this most recent sell-off. Well, now I'm doing this on Binance here, so I don't have full history, but the gist of it would be the same. Then the premise being that our all-time high here, we put in a wave one here, given the depth of the retracement here. Now, note I'm doing this in arithmetic here, so those that are looking at, well, okay, note we have a $66,000 range. So you might interpret that as a range wide enough to, at the very least, warrant a look at it in log scale. But let's not for the time being, and let's look at it like a bear, right? Who's certainly, if you interpreted this as the pivot high here of a completed impulse, well, you sure were right about the sell-off. So we can't deny that right now, and this is why people lean so hard into the 1-2, right? You just look at it in arithmetic, and well, obviously that would be a 2. Right now, it does obviously, right? As we've been looking at this for the last, feels like about a year, we've been looking at this in log scale. But let's just do the analysis here in arithmetic and see if this is helpful to us in any way. Well, if indeed this is the 1 and this is the 2. Certainly, I mean, it's hard not to say, understand the thinking there. Okay, if that's the big push up to complete an impulse, well, of course, right? I mean, not to be silly about it, but what are we anticipating after that? We're anticipating a nice big 3 to correct it. So what's the point of doing this, right? I mean, duh, right? I mean, half of you are already saying, duh. Tell me something I don't know. Well, okay, let's just think about that for a second. If this is just a zigzag, bears are kind of losing the tech. Well, at least if you're applying Elliott Wave here, the bears are really losing the storyline, if you will, to suggest that this is a 4 and that what we need to have come out of here is one more leg down. Well, okay, certain it's a possibility, right? So we're going to go down to 10 grand. This structure down here, you probably just think of it like this. There's 0 to 10K, right? We could call that a floor. Well, yeah, well, okay, let's just stick with that. Okay, so how are you interpreting this, right? So the implication would be that you're not interpreting this as a completed zigzag, that you're pushing all of this off over. This is going over, this is going over, this is going over, and this is how you're interpreting it. Okay, I mean, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can look at this now and say, well, what would be problematic with that interpretation? Well, to some degree, you might look at it here and say, okay, well, if that's the 2 and this is the 4, the length of time is getting stretched here pretty dramatically. I think you might as well, let's dig in there a little bit. Okay, really what I'm trying to do is build the case for the bull count. Okay, so if this is 1, 2, then you'd have to go 1, 2, 3. This is the 4. So you'd have back-to-back 2s and 4s that were wildly out of proportion. Now, if I put the 3 back here and the 4 back here, not so much, right? Now I get much better symmetry. Right? But let's just stay with it. Let's give the bears their due, right? I'm often accused of being overly bullish all the time, which I am. Well, let's just think about that. Okay, so let's take the 1 here proposed from the 2. Okay, 2, 6, 1, 8. Okay, all right. It's not like it's not possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I could live with that. Oh shit, can I do it in? Let's see if I can. Oh, I think I can do it here. Oh shit, where are you? Oh, maybe I can't. Yeah, oh, maybe I can't. Right. So this is what I'm trying to get to. What that's 11 bars, right? So 11, well, I'm on a daily, so that's 11 days. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. We're already at 55 days. this certainly feels like, well, okay, so this is impulsive, right? So is the subdivision there? Well, you could probably squeeze it in. But just in general, I think we're at a point to where bears are, they want to see another drive down, and I think that's getting to be less and less probable. So number one, how would you interpret this? It's certainly not an impulse. Yeah, one more push here, I think we could lean a little bit more into the idea that we've got some sort of a diag going in here. Otherwise, it would be some sort of a combo W X Y X. Jesus. So you'd need a double in there. So you'd need W X Y X Z, and one more push up here potentially would give you the Z. Even that is, I mean, really, this is a bit of a guesstimate in here because there's nobody has any true conviction as to what we have here until we get some resolution, either another kick up to really confirm, oh, okay, I've got a good looking diag, and we'll look at that in a second, or we do indeed roll over here and we come out of it, and then we could probably work into the here. I don't want that in green, we want that. Let's put that in yellow. We could probably work into some sort of a WXYXZ, some sort of complex correction. And then, I mean, if that's the case, right, then you're coming down here and, okay, the 2 is going to go lower. Can't eliminate it. I can't eliminate it. I much prefer this count here, but we can't really. So where's the opportunity? Well, this is going to have to take better shape here for us to say, okay, it's a, oh shit, I've got it somewhere. Okay, we've got a leading diag here. So I suppose it would be something along these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give us that leading diag. Okay, well, already we can see, okay, 3 is longer than 1. Oh, assuming that's the 4 here. So we'd have an A, B, C in the 3, and we'd have an A, B, C still looking to finish here. Now, if it's a leading diag, we need 5 longer than 3. We already have 3 longer than 1, assuming that's an A, B, C into a 3. Oh, shit, if I label it. I've got it labeled here, but let's just, here, we'll do it with the Jumbotron right there. Okay, so let's go to, right, okay, so can I get that leading diag there? Well, if I do, well, then I'm going to feel a little bit better about this being the pivot low. Just looking at it here, this just feels, all right, these are subjective terms, I know, right? That's the criticism of Elliott Wave. This feels like one completed impulse. And this is now, do we have a trend change? Because at the end of the day, really, what are we forecasting here? If this is the 2, well, we've gone to essentially to the 786 from the last swing low, but this is what the broad swing structure implies, right? That we've got that. The channel seems to imply. Now, if we can get outside of this channel, right, and hold, right, and there will be a retrace to test it. Now, right, that's when we know we're in the clear, right, and we have a solid low. We don't have that yet. So there is some, get out of there, Jesus Christ, get out of there. There's a bit of interpretation here. All right, it's just inherent in Elliott Wave as we transition from potentially a completion here to a new trend establishing. There is some interpretation that's required there. So can we definitively say we have it? No, we can't just yet. Although I think the bear case that we're about to roll over, boy, it better happen soon. Oh, the other thing to note here, and I'm doing this in arithmetic here, so we can look at some of these swing relationships. If that's the 2, right? Well, I didn't make the 100 here. I do have, of course, the potential for the, oh God, I think it was one of these pivots was, oh wait, I've got the wave 4 in there. Here, let's do it this way. If I'm pulling here, let's get our full suite on there. Okay, so if I'm pulling here, now we did have, I think it was here, one of these pivots gave us a perfect golden zone, tagged it second to the tick. Right now, right, you're making the assumption here that that's what the algo used. We know that it would certainly be there at the dominant, and it's front run. It's a bit long, right? It's a bit long, right? I mean, it's that's more than you realize there. What are we, 48 to 51? That's a 3K gap. Well, but you can understand why there might have been selling pressure right there as we come back into this zone. We get a high pivot node, right? We get this high volume node over here. We come right into it, right? So if bearish whales, right, or anyone bearish, right, wants to bury some size, where are you going to do it? Right, where are you going to hide it? Right there, right, the high volume node. So that in hindsight, right, it certainly looks like what they did. Right, and I don't think there's much misinterpretation of what we have here. It's almost a perfect A to B equals C to D, right? It's just a perfect correction, right? Now, ideally, right, you like to see it go a little further, right, to catch that edge, to get that 50. But look what we do here. Here's first target. Right, second target is down here. So if we're going to roll over and go down, maybe we're headed to second target. Right? We can't eliminate these possibilities. All we can do is just analyze, use our own best judgment here. Because this could go either way, you're leaning with probabilities. Is it more probable that we have a tiny 2 and this is going to be an extended, very simple, very complex, triple here, W, X, Y, X, Z, to get this to correct? Or are we just going into a 5? Well, Bitcoin has, it's very typical, right, on a Friday. Going into this, boy, you sure would like that one last little kick here to say, boy, I can start to feel a little bit better about the interpretation here that I've got a leading diag. I need that ABC to be longer than the 3, right? If I can get that, now I'm starting to feel better. Right now, but note, right, of course, that interpretation is that we're going to complete the 1 and then we're going to do this. Right now, maybe a big high volume node here would be a place to consider launching into what we would anticipate to be the 3. Right, this is kind of, for the more conservative approach to the market, I'll push you up a little bit. It's kind of what you're looking for. Of course, obviously, we could come down lower. If we're going to go to that high volume node, you can maybe go 786. You got a nice little cluster in here, a little base, right? We likely, again, would have the potential for some size to get executed there without disrupting the market terribly. 1, 2, right? So where do we start to feel better about this, right? If we get a 1 and a 3, we start to challenge some of this structure here. We start to go, right? Now, of course, it's not going to go in a straight line, right? We're going to need the 1. We're going to need a 5 here. We're going to need that little 2. And then we're going to need the big 3, right? That's when you start to say, okay, it's game on. But okay, right? So I would be very interested taking a trade down here where I know, right, that will be the target of bears, right? They'll be after that. If they can't get it, right, they got to cover, right? So this is what bulls are hoping to see. Now, a bear, right, as we just looked at it, is anticipating that this is corrective, that all that's happened here is that, oh shit. I hate to pull it apart, but so you'd have 1, 2. Oh, fuck, hang on. A little click happy with the mouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going down for 5. It's not crazy. It's not crazy, but look at the 2 to the 4. It's not like we don't see it. It's just it would be abnormal, right? So do we want to project abnormal when this is such a clean 5, right? It's just mighty good, right? So 1, 2, 3. Clearly that's the 4. Now the question you're asking yourself is that the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the internal impulse? And the other thing I'm in arithmetic, so I could do it this way. If I just pull the whole thing, right, in a standard deviation, right? So I got the throw over here. Right, this is liquidation wick, but boy, look where we finish it. This just feels like one completed impulse, which certainly this would be a positive development. So the bears are looking at this going, oh, I want one more down, right? Is that pigs get slaughtered, right? Oh, I'm anticipating one more down. I'm not sure the macro backdrop here and some of the developments in the crypto space as specific to Bitcoin and Ethereum here would really be supportive of another free fall down to 10 grand. 10K down here, right? Being what we just looked at. So now you'd be going, well, here, I'll just use, oh shit, here, let's just consider this from what's as far as we can go, right? 0. We're going to go under, oh shit, let me get the full money on there. we're going to go 887 and 90. We're going to go that far. This is where we're headed. Well, let's put that together. I'll get you out of here. Okay, so we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put the 2 down here. And you're going to be able to buy Bitcoin under 10,000. Well, that's what Bear's looking for. Right, they're looking to be a seller up here as we come into this structure. We got this low volume node here. That's what they're anticipating. I'll take the other side of that, but where am I going to take it? Well, if you've been watching me for some time, you know I'm already was accumulating in the low 20s, right? So took some heat, right? Some drawdown on the last buy, right? It's just now, right? Those are above water. Now, if we come up here, if this is 1, 2, is that what we have? Is this 1, 2, A, B, C? A little skinny here on the 4. So I got to have this A, B, C. I got to have it, right? A, B, I got to have that happen. And I need 5. Well, here we can mark it. That's a little bit large. So here we need 100%, right? So if this is the 3 and this is 4, I need to get right here, and this would be golden zone. Here, let's go ahead and take that out. So I need to get to right here to qualify this. So I've got to get to 2618. I got to get right here so I can qualify this as a leading diag where 5 would be longer than 3. I got to get on the other side of that. Well, the other thing to consider here is how did the 4 come in relative to the start of 1? All right, assuming we get it. All right, where are we looking for that? At the 50. ABC, right? That's the ideal location for it. So now here I got to get up here, so I got to get through that algo target. I can see I got an algo here. Now, but note here I've got a second one in there as well, right? So I got this guy who's in play as well. So I've got this nice little target here. I've got these targets here, but we can't pivot here. We got to go further. We got to get through that. Right, and I'm assuming you guys understand why here, because then we wouldn't have the right wave relationships for a leading diag, right? We got to have 5 longer than 3. Now that makes the assumption I'm interpreting this right. A, B, C, that's a stretch. The 3 would be the most clear, and then I got a nice clear A, B, C here. The 2 and the 4 are, well, I'm on daily. Let's go to 8, see if it's any better. Okay, you're working that as a. That's a toughie. You got to go A, B, C into that. Same thing here. A is barely there. Is it there? Well, that's what gives you pause, right? Do we have a 3 there? Shit, let's go to a 4 here. See if we can look at it any better. Can I dig a 3 out of that? Can I dig a 3 out of that? Right? Or is this just a little hopium? The 3s are suspect. The motive waves here, as in the ABC, they're progressing the trend here, are easier to spot here. ABC, correction, ABC, correction, ABC. So if we get this, now what are we doing right here? Oh shit, we're gonna have to go down to the hourly. ABC is what you'd have to be thinking. This is a bitch. A, B, C, you're going to have to play it that way. You can't, if it's a 4, you can't do a WXY in there. So you'd be looking at it this way. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of a sloppy 4. It's possible we've gone here because that looks like a clear 5. So it's possible you've gone A, B, C. That actually could fly. Because this looks like a clear 5, right? I mean, it doesn't look like it is a clear 5, right? Right back to the 50 here, going up for that. But again, we've got these targets up here. We got to get up here. Of course, it lends itself pretty nicely. Now, if I'm in arithmetic, I can use a regression channel and just pull it all in here. See, it frames it really nicely, right? And the last thing happening here, I've got all of this support here on the edge of the high volume node here. All of this support here at the 50. Right, we know what's happening there. We don't have to wonder about it. We know that's software. I think as you recall here, when we looked at right? This right to the 50, right to the 50, right? So we've got these clear targets, but again, knowing we've got to get on the other side of, 2620, let's call it that, right? We got to get up there, right? That has to be hit, right? Or we can't as Elliotticians. Well, you know, it's again, how much are you leaning into Elliott Wave, right? If you're applying Elliott Wave, we have to get there. That's not. Well, I'll use my own judgment, right? That's if you're applying Elliott Wave, we got to have that. Which, you know, at times it's like, fuck, it's a pain in the ass. Can't I just get a 5 here? Yeah, you can, but again, I've done this for a long time. If you start making that compromise, you're not applying Elliott Wave anymore. You're doing something else. Right now, have at it if that's your preference, but don't call it a leading diag, right? You can't. Well, you can call it what you like, right? My point being, you know, you're either applying Elliott Wave or you're not. Now, I'm quick to tell you that if the Elliott is not helping you, get it off the chart. Right? If it's not helpful to you, well, we'll just go to market structure, right? Because the market structure here is much easier to read: higher high, higher low, higher high, low, higher low, right? Clearly an uptrend. Right? That's not hard to read. Now, trying to get a wave count that makes sense, that would fit here relative to our context of where we are. Shit, let's go back to a 4-hour. Relative to the implication that we think we're done here and that we're starting a new trend, right? It's always why you see diags, right, at the beginning or end of trend, right, is the fight to turn the big boat around. Right, that's why all the overlaps, bulls and bears, right, still in, you know, hard disagreement. Now we got fair value gaps here. We got a lot of shit to get through here. So just pulling from the 4, right? So this is not relative to Elliott, but look what all we've got to get through all that. I mean, we just tagged the 50, but it's not like I can't put the 5 there, you know, there. I can't do that. Can't do that. Oh fuck! I mean, you can, but that's not a leading diag. What is it, right? This would really define. Well, you could label it all day long. Would you have any conviction in it? Probably not. My guess is no. So I've got a fair value gap right here, right? So we can see the imbalance, right, as we're hitting the 50, right? It's not terribly surprising that we're not just blowing right through that. So what's a trader to do? Well, my view is if you're looking for the opportunity to get if you're looking for the opportunity to get short, you should already be short. Right, we're tagging a 50 at a fair value gap. We're starting to roll over. Right, if you're not, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for a little bit more down here, maybe to break that pivot, break that swing low, the proposed B, break it, retrace lower high. That's the one you want. I mean, you could keep it simple, right? You could just take the break of the structure, right? Oh shit, come here. You could just take this. Right there, it'd be change of character. What are you 3, 4, 5? Are we going back? That's what you're anticipating? Right, we're doing that, heading down towards 10 grand. Oh, shit, maybe this goes further, right? Is that what you're looking for? 1, 2, take the break. Clear target would be down here. So let's see if we can put that together. Hang on one second. Sorry. Okay, let's think about that. So if this, let's assume that this doesn't complete here. Well, now we're a little screwed, right? So this for the Elliott trader, this is problematic. If I don't get the push, you know, where was that? 28. So I really have to get past the 707, right? This is what I have to get through right there, right? So if this starts to roll over here, bulls, bad news. Ultimately what that means is we don't know what the fuck it is, right? We don't know. We don't know, right? So then you'd be back here saying, oh, is this over here? Well, okay, right. There is no risk-free trading. So let's consider if this starts to come down. Not only my suggestion, but I will just sit, right? If I can't get my arms around it, there's no trade. There's no reason to take a trade until I see what's happening here, until I get more information. The market just hasn't revealed it. Now, if I get the squirt up here and I get the completion here and I get over 28, now it's game on, right? Now we're just waiting. Now, look, give me the retrace. It's not there yet. I think this area here, this is a bit telling, right? We want this to hold, right? We want that to hold as the proposed B wave here. If this is A, B, C, and we're going to hold, we want these lows to hold. Because if we start to break lower, again, we're back to, oh God, what is it? Right, not to mention, right, the break of the channel here is going to be a bit of a negative. Right, again, here, note this, right, the nice channel here that brings us down here with that break, right, feels perfectly self-contained, right? It has the right look, it has the right wave relationships, but I just don't have it here to confirm it. So it's a little bit of hurry up and wait there. Feel like it's been hurry up and wait for a long time. But here, right, I mean, my purpose here is, one, teach you, or give you some thoughts about how to apply this to make it useful. If this is creating more problem, right, I mean, I don't know how it could be, right? If you just have some basic Elliott knowledge here, the real question is, where's is this the low, right? I mean, is the 3 over here, right? As we just went through, I'd probably ad nauseum, you guys are probably sick of it, right? This feels like it's done. The good here, the ETH upgrade, the BlackRock, offering Bitcoin. We got a lot of positive news elements here suggesting that this is a reasonable candidate for the low, right? We can't confirm it, right? And even, listen, let's be clear here. Even if we get this, we can't confirm. I mean, there's no, oh, well, shit, it certainly can't ever go down there again. That's never what we're saying, right? That would give you a technical setup here where we could confirm the pattern, and then you would be in anticipation of a 3 to correct it. And you'd just be down here looking for, not to buy the falling knife, to look for that first opportunity to get into the 2. Right? I mean, these, particularly the 1-2, this perhaps the most powerful rule, the one that is most useful to an Elliottian, is rule number 1. Wave 2 can never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, overlap the start of wave 1. So why do we want to trade wave 3s? Because if the bears cannot get the liquidity that we all damn well know is sitting down here, if they can't get it, what do they have to do? Right? They have to cover those shorts. They're looking for this. It doesn't have, right here, they're, oh, little sphincter clench. Uh-oh. Oh, maybe they won't get the pivot, right? What's there, right? Likely their stops, right? So if we can hit that, and that gives us a little fool. Now, of course, you could run those stops, and just like we see often, that could be just a liquidity grab. Oh, fuck, come here. Right? Then all we do is coming down. Right? There's no certainty. But if you get a 1-2 and then you stall right here and you don't get it, right? Do you immediately panic? Well, okay, not necessarily, right? 1, 2, we need a 3, 4, 5. Let's take that up a degree. You don't necessarily bail right there. I mean, you got to let the market breathe a little bit, right? So if this is going to, right, just again, context. Okay, if we're thinking 1, 2, right, and they can't get this, oh, here we go. But all that happens here is I pivot and I start to come back down. Oh, it's just a look. So, and then you're thinking, oh shit, I'm just in a range. What if I start coming down? Well, the exact same phenomenon is here, right? We know if this is going to be a 3, it's got to, not optional. It's got to subdivide into a 5. Meaning it has to have a 1, 2. So the exact same phenomenon here. If you saw this, you don't immediately go, oh, fuck, shit, man, I thought that was going. Now, the time frame that you're trading on here will be relevant, right? If you're on a 1 minute, right, this gets, that's ridiculous. Don't try and apply Elliott Wave to a 1 minute. That's just foolish, right? That's a waste of time. But if we're out here on 60 minutes and above, where Elliott is most effective, this is not insignificant, because if I get a 1, 2, I got to have a 1, 2 of the 3. So it's the same thing. If they cannot get the liquidity here, if they cannot get the liquidity here, they got to cover, right? It's the same thing happens again, which is why 1, 2, 1, 2, this is not the place to panic. And you've got to give it a little bit of room here, because let's open that up a little bit. What you're hoping for at a smaller degree, which is why if you're working at 60 minutes above, you have that capability to go down a little bit and look at the subdivision, you got to have a 5 in there. Well, if I get that 5 in there, right, and I start to come back down, you know, it's the same idea, right? We know with absolute certainty it's not optional. This cannot happen, right? We're wrong here if that's happening. Now we could double bottom here. We could have some sort of A B. We could have a running flat. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that could happen here. But even still, once that starts again, we still again have to have a 1-2. Got to have it. Right, and you can say, oh, fuck, this is a pain. No. This is one of the huge benefits of Elliott Wave, is that I have these rules that guide my decision making. I got to have a 1-2. If it does this and I double bottom down here, well, if I do this, well, let's just carry it through. If I do that, then this can't be the 2, right? Can this be the 2? Right? This happens all the time. We're like, oh, fuck, I thought, no, oh, it's going to do that, right? As long as we stay above this pivot, right, we still have the potential for that to go, which looks a lot like what's happening down here. Is that 1-2, 1-2? Fuck, this could be 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It could actually be that. That's now we're getting a little crazy, right? Because the first 1-2, if this is 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, it gets right less likely. That's when you start stitching it together. Oh, it looks more like a leading diag. So all of those 3s can be shaped into a pattern we can identify. But this is the heart of it. There's very little else that gives you this clear decision-making matrix. Very little. It's a big advantage of Elliott Wave. So how does that help us here? Well, it only really helps us here is if this thing finishes. And I can say, oh, I got a leading diag. Oh, God, sorry, guys. The allergies are just, in the summer, just kill me. I am moving, so you know we're in the process of doing that. Okay, anyway, so I don't, this just drives me crazy. I'm sure it drives you all crazy as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I get that, then it's just simple. Then I'm out of like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. Right, we're just gonna wait for it, right? No guarantee that it gets in here. I got a couple of high volume nodes down here. I could go POC. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity down here. Am I gonna try and pick the turn? No, I'm gonna wait for that. That's always the better way to do it, because again, what if they get that? Whoa, I got a 5. Oh, now I'm rethinking things. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, right? Was I wrong here? Right? If they don't get that and we start to go, now, oh, maybe I want to add here. Oh. Right? That's kind of what we're waiting for. This thing has to finish. So that's such a good example there, because our focus is always on risk management, right? Where can I get in? Right, as I said this before, and this is within reason. Where can I get into the market as close to where I confirm that I'm wrong as I possibly can? Right, that's a pretty good spot right there. So my risk is, if I took it right there, and my stop is under the pivot. Because I can't, this can't be 1, 2 and take that pivot out. That's not an option, right? So if it does that, well, here I've got a pretty tight range here. If it gave that to me, same concept, right? If they can't get it and we start to go, once you break that pivot, they got to cover, right? The bears who are looking for that 5 there, or fuck, they probably don't care about a 5. But if we're looking at that and they can't get it right here, where their stop's likely to be, right there. Right? Does that give it a little fuel to kick it? Maybe, right? I got a big hole in the volume profile. Well, all of a sudden I'm going. Right? Shorts, they're long gone. They're destroyed, right? Their stops and their panic buying here is what's fueling that 3. Same thing up here. What happens up here, right? We know there's going to be a bunch of liquidity. We know that we don't have to wonder, right? There's going to be resistance there. Can we get through that? If we get through, right, then it becomes the support, right? Off we go. All right, so shit, I don't know. I'm hoping that's giving you guys a few things to think about. I'm hoping that's helping just clarify what we're trying to do. This phenomenon right here is incredibly significant to an Elliott trader. You got to focus on that. If they can't get it, they can't get it, heads up. And not to mention, right, as I was just saying, if I can enter a trade here or here, That's risk reward I can get excited about. Right? Doesn't mean I'm not going to get stopped out often, right? Emphasis, often, right? But I can take that, right? That's a jab, not an uppercut to the jaw. Okay, so how am I doing on time? Oh shit, 35. Oh shit, let me go over one here. We can't. This is annoying. Let me bring it over here on from Motive Wave. We cannot. Come here. We cannot eliminate this as a potential way forward. We just can't yet. Oh, come here. Come back. I want you. Oh shit! I guess it's not gonna let me do that. Okay, that's all right. You can see it here. You know, this thing doesn't need to be here. Oh fuck! Keep doing it. Okay, so let's get this up here. 1, 2, 3, WXY. Right. So this being an ABC. Right. We cannot eliminate this. This is a right. It plays the same way. But here now, note. Of course, I'm in semi-log here. So I've gone 3 WXY into the 4 here. I'm between the 38 and the 50 in log. I've not overlapped the 1. The 2 and the 4 are not out of proportion. This channel is pretty remarkable. Right, the fact that I've hugged this, there's my 3, 2, 3, 4. Right, I got a clear target up here. At, what do I got there? Well, let's call it 200K. Just using the channeling. And this little, if this is going to play as a leading diag, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Can we get that far? If this is the 1, or potentially this is the 1 of the 1. Right, it might be more probable that this would be the 1 of the 1 before we go 3, 4, 5, and we go up to get some of those targets. You can't eliminate this, right? This one, there's very few people still considering this account. Well, do we care really, right? Is we're anticipating an impulse here. Whether it's a 2 or a 4, the only variable is how far are we anticipating it goes. So for a bull, this is all, we got all the ingredients here. We just don't have that final confirmation, and we need it, right? So possibility here, and then that would be, right, that the 5 is not in here. We're looking for it here, that this is the 4, right? Here's the alternate, and we'd be looking for that last drive, right? Here's that'd be the algo target, but we're not at the 50, so you might look second target, right? Or, you know, here's 200, we'd be going beyond that. Can't eliminate it. If it's the 2 in log scale, we're pivoting between the 38 and the 50, right? So note now I'm in log scale. All right, why is it nobody wants to like that count? Because of when you take it out of log scale, right? You look how far we've gone, right? So then it's a question. Well, my suggestion is you got to look at it in both. You got to analyze in both. It's annoying to me, right? Believe me, I appreciate it. It's annoying, right? I'd rather have just one. But when we have a $70,000 range, you've got to consider it in log scale, right? At least consider it, right? Some people are hardcore; they're just never going to do it, right? But I would say that's a mistake. Okay, if I got everything covered there, I think. Well, let's pop over here real quick. This would be more leaning into the idea that we've gone into, that this was all corrective, right? So when we're looking for a correction with median lines, we would start looking at the shift, right? Because we're not anticipating an impulse here, not being as steep. So, well, there's 2 ways you could look at this, right? So you could look at it and say, oh shit, I'm locked here. Oh fuck. Come here. Let's unlock it. I can look at it this way and say, okay, if I'm going to go original recipe, failure to make the median line, trading principle number 4 equals a move equal to or greater than the swing that failed to get there, right? So we'd have a reasonable target being this B, right? So we're up here at 48 and change. But, right, since we know, right, from lots of use of median lines, right, I can tell you this here. So as we come down here, that little throw over here on this edge, well, you can look at how nicely this has been contained. And look at the center line, right? So we've got consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. Now we're threatening right here. So if we can squirt out of here and we can pop up and get that 5, right? We got a big supply zone up here, and we can get right to that. Well, boy, doesn't that play nicely? Because from that, you're saying, oh, I got my 5. I got my leading diag. Okay, now I'm just sitting. Now I'm waiting for that. Maybe it's a return to the median line. Maybe it's that 1, 2. Then, boom. Right? How far can it go? Well, I mean, it's got plenty of resistance to get through. Right here would be an obvious target at 39. 1, 2. Can we do that? That's not, well, shit, it could be 3. More likely, you'd be looking up here for 3. So what's the first big structural thing that has to happen? We have to get outside of this shift pitchfork and sustain. We got to sustain outside of it. And then maybe you're starting a new one, right? So if this does complete and we get the 1 and we get the 2, let's put a original recipe back on. Now we don't take that. Do we do it that fast? Take it that long? Oh, what did I get here? I need to. Well, that'd be doing it. That'd do it right there. Okay, so if you got that and you'd have your corner pocket potentially golden or a corner pocket here, well, look at that's kind of interesting. Oh, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. That would if we're going up to those upper levels, right? Oh, let's just do it this way. We're going up for 5. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we got targets of 200 grand. Right now, I'm out of log scale here. If I'm doing it in arithmetic, 1, 2, 3. Well, let's label it. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. What's that likely to be? Right, the 1 wave. Right, and you'd be looking for that, right, to carry on, right? If we're going up to 200 grand, right? So there's the first impulse that started with this low, slow, grinding diag here. To get that to fly, well, you're gonna need a 2, and then you're gonna need a big 3, right? And that big 3 is gonna be a big one, right? We're gonna blow out the old time high. I mean, so you can just there it is, right? That's what a bull is anticipating. If you're an Elliottician, right now, is it gonna play that way? Well, fuck, no one knows, but. That would be pretty good. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm doing this wrong. 1, 2. I have to. Let's change that. Let's get it this way here. Let's not leave you with that misdrawn. So we'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, some sort of sideways, sharp, flat, up for the 5. Right. We get our impulse here. Probably nice. I mean, look at just the median lines here from just this, right? Probably hold the median lines nicely. A little throw over here, back for the 2, right? Where's the next trade, right? Now, this is a lot that has to happen here. So really, what are we talking about here? Let the 5 complete so we can lock in on leading diag. Wait for the 3. All right, you don't have to. You can take the 1, 2 of the 1. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 1. Lots of opportunities here, but we're waiting for some things to happen, right? So don't trade just because you feel like you need to be in the market. It's always a mistake. Okay, I'm almost done here. Oh shit, 42. Let's go take a peek at ETH because I think ETH actually represents a little bit better here. So same premise here, and I've just taken all this shit over here, right? So it's just here's the premise, right? Oh, well, you get my drift, right? We completed a 3. Note, I'm out of log scale. All right, so let's look at it. You know, this again, same idea, right? This is the 5. A, B, C corrects it. Okay, let's go dig in there. Let's go to a 4 hour here to see how this looks. So I'm going to take you off. Okay, this is a bit tricky here because we have this. It looks to me like the internal impulse here plays better, right? So this, it's tempting to think, oh, 1, 2, but it doesn't play as well because if I need to get to this 3, I need the impulse in there. So if I go 1, I think we looked at this last week. If I go 1, 2, 3, this is my 4, and I come up for the 5. Now I've got that internal impulse, right? With the right look, nice structure to it, nice wave balance. Right, all self-contained within a channel, or in this case, a set of median lines here. That 3 plays well for the 1, 2 here. Now, this is mighty deep, right? I mean, it's mighty deep for a 2, right? But remember, right, that hard rule, wave 2 can never overlap. What a nice example of what I was just talking about here. If they can, there's a shitload of stops down there. They can't get them. Can't get them. Where's the trade, right? You got the reaction, retrace. Look at the imbalance here. Look at we got fair value gaps 2 in a row, right? This is aggressive buying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like a 1, 2. Right, so if I pull that back here, so you can see that it just, well, okay, is that subjective interpretation? Yes, yes it is. I'm sure there are Elliottians that are calling this AB, we're putting the 2 here, right? They're doing it this way. Does it really matter? Well, I think the count is a little tougher to play. Right, particularly since I need the impulse to get to this 3, right? If it's going to fly, right? And I've just got such good wave relationships, 3 into the 4, and then it looks like, and the reason I don't think that plays is because if this is 1, 2, and this is 3, 4, oh fuck, I suppose you could make it fly, but the subdivision here in this of the 3, where's your 2? Here? Here? It's a tough call. Then you'd be going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you don't. I just think this is a cleaner look, right? There's subjectivity in that, absolutely. I don't know that it matters terribly. Although now look here, it looks like I can finish this with a nice ending diag. Right, not a contracting. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got another clear ABC here. ABC, ABC, ABC. So I've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need another A, B, C to work this. This looks like an impulse that completes. Right? We don't know that keeps going, but I've got, here I got a couple of things. Right? So pivot of the low of 1 through the pivot of 3. I'm golden zone to the tick. Literally splits it. Right? So we know that's software. Right? Here, first target. Right? Got that pretty easily. So the last thing I need to measure is I got to make sure that 5 is longer than 3. Right? There's that. Already done it. Right? So what's missing now is that I've got a clear ABC here. I don't have it quite so clearly in the 5th. Almost rather see this come down a little bit, just to clarify, right? So if this would come down a little bit more and then do that, right? I'd like it better because right now, well, here, let's get this out of there. I mean, it looks like it's tempting to want to finish it there, but if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, we need an ABC here. So if I go 60, can we squeeze one in there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's not much of a B. Looks like a WXY, so it looks like you could probably do it. Oh, it looks like you could probably make that work. WXY, you know, just at first glance. It's not much of a B. You'd like that to come a little bit deeper, but market's not always going to cooperate with what we'd like to see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what it looks like. It looks like you've got an A here. Looks like you've got A. Whoa, that's a skinny B, but we might. No, Elliott's not perfect, right? Can you get that to fly as a WXY? Because it looks like it. Fuck. Well, this looks like a 3, so it looks like you got to go WXY into that. So you'd have a candidate for a B, mighty skinny, right? Mighty skinny on that, right? Now here's prior resistance holding as support, right? Difference than where was the demand zone? Right here. I didn't get there. You'd almost rather see that come down a little further. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? We could still work with that. We got a target up here. We're going to kind of just let that thing go. So ideally now, if it's going to do that, I'd rather see that now give me some good distance here. So I can go A, B, C, and I know I've got a good solid C wave here. So I'd like to see clean 5 in that, if that's what we're going to get here. So where's the trade right now? If we're completing the 5 of, oh shit, let's go back to a 2. I mean, pretty good rip here, right? Wouldn't that be interesting, right? To catch it right on the edge of the median lines, right? That's why you use these, right? Now, note here, I am using this. I am using the wider pivot, having looked at both, right? This is not framing it, right? This actually is, right? So not... is a little bit of subjectivity as well at times with median lines. Clearly this frames it, but then you might think, well, wait a minute, what about the 2 over here? Well, again, you're back to where's the 2 here that plays as well. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays so well. It's possible we'd reinterpret that, But right now, if this we go up and get this, so there's a target a little over 2,000 would make this for, okay, I got a skinny B and I've got my ending diag here to give me the completion. Oh, then I'd also look here, right? Just standard ops, right? Just Elliott stuff. All right, we're coming up to length of the 1 projected from the proposed 2. Oh shit, do I have it on the right spot? Oh, pardon me, excuse me. Length of the 1 projected from the proposed 4. I'm looking for 100. If not 100, 1272 would be the next most common. So really, to get this to validate, you'd be looking for this, as I said, just over 2,000. This one here, right? This is why it was tempting to think the 2 is here, because I got the 161875 or 175 here, but it doesn't finish as well. So think about that for a second. If you said, oh, no, it's 1, 2, 3 because the 1618 and the 4 is down here. You can't finish that though, because then you'd be thinking to yourself, oh, it's 1, 2, 3. We're going bigger, but I don't get an impulse here. Right, so that process of elimination, because I get an impulse here, you'd say, okay, wait a minute, that's the 3. This is the 4, because I need that impulse. And since I get a diag here, I can't go 1, 2, 3. I can't do it, right? I mean, again, right, per Elliott rule set. So this fits better. And look what else is up here. The 2618 right at that same target. Right, so we got a this would be a strong area of interest here in terms of targets for this last little swing here. We should, right? It's 1913 to 26. I mean, there's probably $1,000 there, but you're buying at the highs. That's not really where you want to buy that. Where did you want to buy that? I know, right? It's hindsight trading, right? Right there, right? We want to buy on a retrace, not on a breakout, ever, right? Not that this won't sometimes go, right? That's never what I'm saying, right? Obviously it goes at times, but you're so vulnerable here, right? To just getting punked, right? So it's just not worth the risk, right? Wait, if that completes, okay, well, you missed the whole ride. If that's the case, well, do not fret. What are we anticipating, right? If we get that. Right? That's the beauty of it, right? So you don't go, oh, fuck, I missed the whole thing. No, slow down. You didn't miss it. Step back. Did you miss the whole thing, really? Did you miss the whole move? The whole upgrade move? Did you miss the whole thing? Did you really? Or did we just do this? 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, lots to chew on there. Oh, I hope he gave you a few nuggets in there. This has been a long, long wait to see something really turn, but it's not unreasonable to think that ETH is now leading us, and Bitcoin, you know, perhaps following, right, for a change. Oh, let's see. I didn't do a lot of SMC today because the Elliott really kind of had my focus here, but if oh shit, I've gone long enough here, but you guys know that so we'd be running potentially into a supply zone here, another one here, another one here. So you can see how this plays pretty nicely with all the potential resistance zones here. This one obvious, right, POC, and then this one being the last up before the broke us down. As it is right now, you can also see, I don't know, I'm just drawing from the proposed B through the C. Well, here's the value. We're still stuck in this, right? We get through some of this. This is all going to start to look much more significant. And then we're really focused on that this is the hard low, right? This is the corrective low. What do we got here? 17,397. None of it's there yet, but boy, right there, if we get that, it's the one to take. Now, I say that if it does that, right? Well, let's just see if I can get rid of that. If it does that, don't freak out, right? So if you got this, let's just play this and I'll wrap it here. If I got a 5 here, well, if we did that, right? So what are you thinking, right? So the next thing that happened would be, if we're going to go lower, you'd be expecting a 3 here. Here again, I've got this supply zone here. I guess I'll get this out of there. If I came back here for this 3, and if they're coming here, we know there's liquidity here. If they're gonna try and get through that, or they're gonna try and get those stops. If we can't get there, and we start to roll over again, and we're heading this way, and you get another 1, 2, well now you're thinking 3, 4, 5, right? And something else is going on, and now we're going, well, there's 5K. Does that seem... I mean, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. The other thought is, since what matters is this low, is if I got a 5 here, I could get a 3. Boy, this is when Elliott is really tricky, right? So this is interpretation. If I got a 3 here, I could get another 5 here. As long as I don't take out that low, I've still got a contender. I can just have a zigzag into a deep 2, right? We just looked at it in Ethereum, right? Just like we just had right here, right? Something that deep. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Oh, fuck, now I gotta find it. Not out of the realm of possibility. If we get into a zigzag into 2, again, back to where I started over here, that rule that's rock solid, right? You can really lean on that. Would that be a decent trade? Well, what would your risk reward be there? Let's measure it up. I got to get out of here. What's your risk reward? Oh, it's only a tick is all you need. There's 26 to 1. Yeah, I got that. Make sure I'm on the other side of it. Oh, I'll call it 16. 16 to 1, right? You could take that as close to where you're invalidated as possible, because there is no possible scenario that this does this. Well, pardon me. As a 1-2, right? Sure, Bitcoin could do that, right? Run the liquidity down here and then rip. But then now you're rethinking it. Now you're thinking, oh, well, this was 3, 4, and I'm double bottomed into the 5. But that, again, would that work? It wouldn't work, would it? Right? So this would be, you'd be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That would be your inclination if you're applying Elliott Wave here. And now we're going down to 2,500. Oh shit! Right? Anything's possible. But I think this scenario here, you know, again, there's a lot here that still has to happen. So all we can do is kind of map out the what ifs. Well, if it does this, then that, and if it does that, then this. That's kind of what we're stuck with right here, because we don't have clarity. So it's a lot of if this, then that. That's what I'm waiting for right there, because where I want to get long is that one. Okay, guys. Oh, shit. Way too long. Okay, I'll let that be some things to chew on over the weekend. Okay, I hope that helps you a little bit. As always, you can always join us for free, right? White Belt. You got all the links are down below, and I still have that Sonar Labs discount here. We'll keep that going, right? So any of you that are interested in the market structure and the smart money concept stuff, right? That link is down below. Join with our link, and you'll get a 10% discount. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. We're back for a live stream on Monday. Until then, I'll talk to you on Monday.